Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. Hope your day is off to a fantastic start. I have another in-depth perfume review to share, and today we are discussing the SNIF Tart Deco, this little beauty right here. Before I get into the review, however, I do want to be completely upfront and let you guys know that a couple of months ago, SNIF did reach out to me via email. They noticed that I do perfume reviews here on my channel, and they asked if I was interested in trying some of their fragrances and then sharing my thoughts with you guys. I said yes, absolutely, because this perfume right here was actually on my little list that I have of perfumes that I want to actually purchase for myself to be able to review here on my channel. So the fact that they reached out really excited me. So they did send me a few of their perfumes to be able to share my thoughts with you guys. All opinions are my own. They didn't send talking points or anything like that. So, but I do want to be completely upfront about the fact that I did not pay for this bottle of perfume. You can find SNIF fragrances obviously through their website, but a lot of the SNIF perfumes are also available at Ulta. So I will link them both at SNIF and at Ulta in the description box down below. I know a lot of people sometimes prefer to purchase from like a physical store. It can be easier when you are wanting to do a return. Maybe the fragrance doesn't agree with your body chemistry, or maybe you just didn't like the wear or the projection of it. So, you know, returning something in store can be a little bit easier, but it's also pretty easy from what I understand to return through the SNIF website. When you order from them, they will actually send you a sample of the perfume that you ordered, so that if you try the sample and you find that either, again, you don't like the fragrance, it doesn't agree with your body chemistry, or whatever the problem is, as long as you don't open the, you know, the full-size bottle, you can totally send this back either for an exchange or you can get your money back. So I love that they offer that. But anyway, I will go ahead and, like I said, link where you can find SNIF perfume in the description box down below. And without further ado, let's get into my thoughts on this absolutely delicious cherry yummy scent. Okay, cherry for me is kind of tough. It goes one of two ways. It is either a really beautiful, fruity, sweet, juicy, almost like borderline edible, delicious kind of cherry scent, or on the total opposite end of the spectrum, for whatever reason, sometimes my nose will make cherry smell like, have you ever had the Luden's cherry cough drops? Those specifically, like that very herbal, medicinal type of scent. Yeah, that's like the other cherry option for my nose. There really is no in between. Either I really like the cherry because it is authentic, it's juicy, it's like edible cherry, or it just smells medicinal. Just reminds me of basically being sick. I am happy to report we have an absolutely delightful cherry here. I do think this kind of smells a little bit, it's not a total dupe or anything like that, but I think it smells a lot like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I feel like the cherry that is used is very similar between the two. Now there's a few differing notes between the two fragrances that make them not, you know, exact copies of each other, but I think it's that cherry note that I really like in the Tom Ford Lost Cherry that is in here, and it is delightful, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started with the description of the fragrance. I will actually read out the Tom Ford Lost Cherry notes as well, so that, you know, you can compare the two. By the way, SNIF is cruelty-free. Tom Ford is not. I would never actually buy the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I have a couple of dupes from cruelty-free fragrance houses, but you know, until Tom Ford goes cruelty-free, I will not be giving him any of my money. So, okay, so this fragrance here retails for $65. These are eau de toilettes, by the way, but I will tell you, and we'll discuss a little bit more when it comes to the projection of the fragrance, the overall strength of it. I think these perform more like an eau de parfum than an eau de toilette, but we'll get to that point. So $65, and they are 1 ounce, 30 mils. Is that right? Yes, I believe these are 1 ounce. Okay, my eyeballs can't see that. I'll put it in the description box down below. Okay, this was actually, I didn't realize this, but this was named a 2023 Allure Best of Beauty winner. I can see why. You guys, this is a fantastic cherry scent. So hit rewind with a juicy, sophisticated scent that muddles cherry, rose, and mimosa with a blend of birchwood, vetiver, and vanilla. Tart Deco is a nod to simpler, more playful times before smartphones and skinny jeans. It's luxurious and indulgent with a youthful, rebellious side. Why be a snack when you can be dessert? Okay, so they call it the smells. I love that. The fragrance notes, if you will, but I would rather say the smells. The smells are black cherry, raspberry, rose, jasmine, mimosa, birchwood, vetiver, and vanilla. Okay, let's just compare really quickly with the notes for Tom Ford Lost Cherry. So they say for the Lost Cherry that they use a black cherry and liqueur with a touch of almond. There's also Turkish rose and jasmine sambac. It does not say that there is vanilla in the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. No, there's not. But anyway, so you can see we share some of the fragrance notes there for sure. We've got the rose and we've got the jasmine. So we have the floral component from the Lost Cherry. And let's go back to the black cherry note, because that's what we have here as well. It is a very deep, dark, like very rich, not overly sweet cherry note. But it's really, really well done. I think that that darker cherry note really blends a lot more nicely with the rose especially. And that jasmine, I think jasmine is a little bit softer and prettier, a little bit more feminine than rose can be sometimes. And I feel like it tones that rose down. In terms of the raspberry, I don't really pick up much in the way of raspberry. Honestly, the predominant like fruit note here just is cherry to my nose. I do get a little bit of almost like, it's just a touch of maybe like a smokiness, which could be where that birchwood comes in with this. Mimosa, not so much. I do think that with this one, there is a little bit of a vanilla that, again, kind of ties everything together that I don't necessarily notice in the Lost Cherry. I think Lost Cherry is maybe a little bit darker smelling, a little bit more maybe sophisticated. And I would say Lost Cherry to my nose could be a unisex type fragrance, where I think this one does smell a little bit more feminine, a little bit more youthful. Maybe it's that addition of the mimosa in there that's doing that, or maybe it's that vanilla, I'm not sure, but whatever is happening with this makes it a little bit more, I think a little bit of a slightly younger fragrance, if that makes sense. Now, in terms of the sprayer, I love a good sprayer on a perfume bottle. I hate the ones where you just get like a splat of fragrance. I like a nice fine mist, and you gotta see the mist on this. You guys ready? Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. Listen. Your very first smell of this is just gonna be like that beautiful black cherry just hitting your nose. It's definitely the first note that pops through. And surprisingly, very quickly thereafter, it goes into that rose and the jasmine. I think that jasmine just does such a good job of kind of toning that rose down, because I think rose can be a little bit aggressive. And this just is not. And I also think that that vanilla adds a little bit of like creaminess to the floral notes as well. And it's lovely, you guys. I think moral of the story here is if you do like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, you're probably going to like this. And this is even a little bit more feminine and fun than Lost Cherry is. Now, in terms of the overall like wear of this fragrance, I feel like after about like 5 hours, I definitely have the urge to want to reapply. And that is probably because this is an eau de toilette, not an eau de parfum. But in terms of the overall just like initial strength and the wear up until that 5 hour mark, it reminds me very much of a lot of the performance of the eau de parfum in my perfume collection. I think it's got a really good oomph to it initially, and it stays pretty powerful for, you know, the first few hours of wear. After that, you do start to get some of that fading. That being said, this is one of those fragrances where you don't want to start out by like dousing yourself with it. I know that there are some lighter vanillas out there maybe where it's fun to do that with those fragrances. If you did that with this, I think it would just be too much. Like, it would be overkill, and I think it would probably be considered like headache inducing. So use a light hand with this. But yeah, the overall like wear time I think is quite fair. I mean, usually around the 5-6 hour mark, I will go and reapply my perfume anyway. So it falls in line with what I typically do in terms of reapplication. But if you're looking for something that's gonna last all day, it's not gonna be this one. So if you need something that has a lot more oomph behind it in terms of lasting power, I would say go with an eau de parfum formulation. But this one right here, the performance up until the 5 hour mark, I think is fantastic. So no complaints at all from me. I really like this cherry a lot, and I think this one will definitely be a repurchase for me when it's all said and done. I wouldn't wear this in the fall and winter at all myself personally, but I think this is going to be a great fragrance to kind of help boost my mood as we go into the spring and summer, which for me is a little bit of a like womp womp time of year. So hopefully this delightful Tart Deco here will improve. It's already improving my mood. So yeah, you'll be seeing this probably quite a bit over the next several months in terms of my weekly beauty chit chat as a favorite. So get used to seeing her. I do still have one more SNIF fragrance that they sent that I need to review, and it is their Sweet Ash. Now, admittedly, I don't love this particular fragrance as much as the other ones that they sent, but if you are looking for a slightly more masculine kind of fragrance from SNIF, this might be worth looking into for sure. Anyway, we'll talk about this one probably next week. So let me know if you have ever tried Tart Deco from SNIF. What are your thoughts? How do you think it compares to Lost Cherry? And yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Give this video a big fat thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.